Now let's go to Pam Byram and Hunter Wood, who wanted to talk about an important event that happened 56 years ago this week.
Hello, my name is Pamela Berra.
And I'm Hunter Wood.
And we're here to tell you about the Montgomery bus boycotts that took place starting in December of 1955 and ran through 1956 and were a huge force in the civil rights movements.
On December 1st, 1955, a 42-year-old African-American seamstress named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man on a Montgomery, Alabama city bus.
With that simple act of rebellion, the modern civil rights movement started to take place.
In the 1950s, the majority of bus riders in Montgomery are African Americans, but city regulations required that they not only sit in the back of the buses, but also had to give up their seats to whites when all the seats in the front were filled. When Parks balked at leaving her seat, she was arrested and jailed.
Parks wasn't the first person to protest the laws, but her arrest stimulated Montgomery's black community. A one-day protest was planned. The word of the action found its way to several leaders in the black community, including the 27-year-old pastor of the Dexter's Avenue Baptist Church, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
On December 2nd, a meeting was held in the community. The group decided to organize a boycott of the city bus service until the city ended Jim Crow rules on its buses.
To organize the community, the group formed a Montgomery Improvement Association with King as its leader.
On December 5th, the boycott began. That morning, Montgomery citizens were treated to an incredible sight. While city buses were nearly empty, sidewalks are crowded with African Americans walking to their jobs. Others carpooled or took cabs, with black cab drivers lowering their fares in support of the boycotters.
The city recognized immediately it had a huge problem. Not only was it facing staggering financial losses, it also saw for the first time that a politically unified black community could spell doom for segregation.
The city could have negotiated with the boycott leaders, but Mayor Tacky Gale instead chose to intimidate the boycotters in an effort to force them back onto the buses.
Cab fares were raised, carpooling was made illegal, leaders, including King, were arrested. King's home was also firebombed.
Nothing, however, could break the will of the black community, whose determination was soon being admired around the world.
The nation's Carrie McWilliams called the boycott the Miracle in Alabama, and it was.
When it finally ended, on December 27, 1956, not only was it a complete victory for the black community, but the civil rights movement had a new leader in King, and a momentum that over the next 10 years would destroy nearly every vestige of Jim Crow that had plagued the South and the nation since the Civil War. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Pam.
Back to you.
Thank you for that report, guys.
Now let's go to Jake Hundley, who has the first in a series of videos geared toward helping you, the viewer, learn more about the finer points of digital photography.
Jake?
What?
No, other Jake.
Oh.
Hello, I'm Jake Hundley, and I'm a student in Miss Stuckey's Media Arts class. As a group, we have taken on the project of informing local citizens about the subtleties of digital photography. We will be doing this in installments over time. I'll be taking you through the first installment, which is fittingly the history of digital photography. Digital camera technology is directly related to and evolved from the same technology that recorded television images. In 1951, the first videotape recorder captured live images from television cameras by converting the information into electronic impulses and saving the information onto magnetic tape. During the 1960s, NASA converted from using analog to digital signals with their space probes to map the surface of the moon. Digital imaging also had another government use at the time, that being spy satellites. Later, Texas Instruments patented a filmless electronic camera in 1972, the first to do so. In August 1981, Sony released the Sony Mavica electronic still camera, which was the first commercial electronic camera. Images were recorded onto a mini disc and then put onto a video reader that was connected to a television monitor or color printer. However, the early Mavica cannot be considered a true digital camera, even though it started the digital camera revolution. In 1986, Kodak scientists invented the world's first megapixel sensor, capable of recording 1.4 million pixels that could produce a 5x7-inch photo quality print. In 1991, Kodak released the first professional digital camera system aimed at photojournalists. It was the Nikon F3 camera equipped by Kodak with a 1.3 megapixel sensor. The first digital cameras for the consumer level market that worked with a home computer via serial cable were the Apple QuickTake 100 camera, released February 17, 1994, the Kodak DC-40 camera, released March 28, 1995, the Casio QV11 with LCD monitor, late 1995, and Sony's CyberShot digital still camera, released 1996. Today, the largest, best quality digital camera is on the Pan-STARRS PS1 Observatory in Hawaii. Every 30 seconds, the PS1 snaps a 1,400 megapixel shot of a section of the sky as large as 36 full moons, a view 3,600 times larger than the Hubble Space Telescope's main camera. Just one of these images would produce a 300 dpi print covering half a basketball court. Now that's all I got. Stay tuned for future installments. I'm Jake. Back to you.
Thanks for that report. I look forward to hearing more.
Now let's see what the fellows over at the sports desk are up to.
Sports guys? Yeah! Woohoo! We're number one! We took state.
Ah, yeah.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We took state.
Number one.
And it wasn't basketball.
Hasn't really started.
And it wasn't football.
Already done with.
And it wasn't underwater basket weaving.
Disqualified.
This state title was under head coach Mr. Eric Nygaard with his Science Dynamos.
This team of 16 eats neutrons for breakfast.
Yeah! They represented Blue Hawk Spirit, beating out 34 other Montana schools last month at the 2011 Montana Science Olympiad competition held at MSU Bozeman.
Science fairs are mental calisthenics for these thinkers.
Yeah!
These nerds have it down.
I don't think that's politically correct in this day and age.
Oh, I thought it was cool, you know?
Let's find out if it's okay to call State Science Olympiad winner a nerd by going to our correspondent, Jimmy Schwartz, in the field.
Yeah!
Thanks, guys. I'm Jimmy Schwartz, and this is our friend Roger O'Neill. Roger, is it okay to call a State Science Olympiad winner a nerd?
I guess it depends on how you look at it. From a certain point of view, you can be considered a nerd because you are spending hours studying to compete in an event, and I know some people do it for enjoyment.
There you have it. Thanks, nerd.
Thanks, Jimmy. And in other not really sports news...
Hey, I wasn't done yet. I'll say back to you when it's time to go. Back to you.
Oh, sorry.
What do you do to prepare for this type of an event?
Depending on what event you have, I had to build a helicopter in an insulated box, and perfecting those things is what I spent most of my time doing. And also other events require just solid studying, where you just spend hours and hours reading and looking things up and researching and testing and practicing all sorts of different topics.
Yeah, that's real interesting stuff, Roger. Did everyone get along, or was there some kind of argument about who was smarter than whom?
I think that I was the smartest person there. No, you shouldn't include that. I'm just kidding.
Describe your favorite experience on this trip.
I thought it was cool seeing. In one of my events, I built a helicopter, and there was these people that built a helicopter that was a lot better than ours, but it was really cool to see the helicopter go all the way to the top of the brick Breeden field house and stay up there for a good 30 seconds. I don't know, I thought that was really cool. Just a rubber band powered piece of balsa wood staying up that high.
Wow. Awesome stuff. Thank you for your time. Now go study. Nerd. I'm Jimmy Swears, and it's back to you guys.
Did he say back to you?
I think so.
State champion!
Woohoo! Now all they need to do is raise about $20,000 and to attend a national competition in Orlando, Florida in May.
Whoa, that's a chunk of change.
Well, they're smart people. I bet they'll figure it out.
I've got faith, and they've got dendrites to split.
What?
You wouldn't get it anyway. Let's go to Jake Nygaard for our look at next week's sports calendar.
Jake?
Thanks, guys. Like they said, I am Jake Nygaard, and I am going to bring you this week's sports schedule. As everyone knows, wrestling started November 17th, and basketball started November 21st. Wrestlers had their first tournament last Saturday in Polson, and Tuesday, wrestlers have an away meet in Mission to wrestle the Bulldogs. Thursday, we stay here on our own mats to wrestle against the Arlee Warriors, while the following Saturday, the wrestlers will meet up in Superior to have another tournament. As for basketball, this Thursday, the Blue Hawk Junior Varsity Hoopsters will go to Hot Springs to kick off the annual Sanders County preseason tournament. The following 2 days, Friday and Saturday, the tournament will be moved back to the county seat and the Blue Hawks home court to see who is the best prepared for the upcoming season. That's all for this week. I'm Jake. Back to you.
Thanks, Jake.
You're welcome.
I think that does it for sports.
Back to you, anchors, at the desk that looks a lot like this one.
Thanks, guys.
Now let's take a look. Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's Travis.
Is he crying?
Well, yeah.
I wonder why.
Let's find out. Travis, why are you crying?
Well, guys, crying because Miss Stucky took all the wheelie chairs away. We've got nothing anymore. Can't even do our iPods, listen to music, use my cell phone in class. All I get to do is just sit in my chair that doesn't even have wheels on it. I have to just sit in one spot. Can't even go on the internet, play games or anything anymore. I just don't like it.
Thanks, Travis, and hang in there, buddy.
Now let's take a look at what's happening in our local art scene.
Hi, I'm Laura Grievous, and this is what is happening in Sanders County, artistically speaking. Always one of my favorite events this time of the year, the Thompson Falls Elementary will be having their 2011 Elementary Christmas Concert on Tuesday, December 13th at 7 p.m. in the junior high gym. And not to be outdone, the Thompson Falls High School will be having their Christmas concert Monday, December 19th in the high school gym. I'm Laura Grievous, back to you.
Thanks, art lover. Well, that about does it for this episode of Sanders County's only source of televised local news.
But before we go, we wanted to mention that the Thompson Falls High School, in cooperation with the Clark Fork Valley Elks Lodge, is sponsoring a slightly used or new coat, hat, boot, and glove drive.
There are many places to drop off such items.
The drive has already collected a substantial amount of coats, hats, boots, and gloves.
But that's no reason to stop now. It seems like you can't go anywhere without running into one of these donation boxes.
There's even a drop box at our own Thompson Falls High School, so please, if you have an old coat that you can't fit into anymore and it's in reasonable condition, there's absolutely no reason not to drop it off by December 14th.
Do you think they take mittens?
Yes, I'm sure they do. Do you have some you want to drop off?
No, I was just wondering.
Thanks for watching.
And stay classy, Sanders County.
Thank you.